stay in our wise brain as artificial intelligence swirls around us? Well, that's a task. During a coaching summit, I paid to join a small breakout group on Zoom to get acquainted and share how we could apply what we learned about making presentations. Things were going well with our diverse group of people from clear around the world until Ahmed answered the facilitator's question with an entire paragraph from our presenter's book. I was instantly annoyed with his impersonal manner and wondered how he could have a relationship with anyone, let alone be a successful coach. The body language of our entire group was clear, irritated. Ahmed spoke again and again until a man yelled, "No!" It seemed rude but necessary. Near the end of that Zoom chat, the facilitator interrupted Ahmed and asked him to share his story instead of reading the book. Again, he droned on, and she stopped him and asked for his story again, while I said, "Heart!" He said something about having no story, and I thought of clients who began counseling unable to recall their childhood story. When asked for his story again, he repeated his words, and I clicked on the Q&A to see if I heard correctly. I had no story, and something about giving us what we needed to know? No story, literally. No wonder we were put off. Behind the face of Ahmed was his AI clone. With my discovery, that $100 session ended before I downloaded the survey to get my credits. Welcome to Truth Talk Wisdom Walk with C.A. Curtis. I'm Carolyn. Well, I contacted Summit Tech folks to let them know we were hijacked by Ahmed's AI cloned image and voice avatar. We were robbed of our paid-for small group session. I felt vindicated. My aversion was rooted in discernment. So a good question to ask when you think someone or thing is not human is, what is your story? Was the real Ahmed getting credit for being present when he was absent? Were we part of a lab-rat experiment to chart our response? Should we ever trust anything whose first name is artificial? It was my first experience with a group of professional coaches fooled by AI. Weird feeling. And why can an AI it tool use the pronoun I? Well, in the closing session, one coach stated that as AI becomes common in our lives, having human connections will be even more important. Well, people already think avatars are human, and chatbots offer pseudo-companionship for isolated people. Mercy. The April 29th, 2026 Oxford study warns, warmer chatbots are more likely to validate users' incorrect beliefs, particularly when users disclose vulnerability. People are forming one-sided bonds with chatbots, fueling harmful beliefs, delusional thinking, and unhealthy attachment, unquote. So, if you want the facts about Hitler's death, Apollo moon landings, or your medical diagnoses, avoid friendly chatbots. Even an AI search warns of problematic to harmful advice. 50 to 62% accuracy doesn't sound okay where health is concerned. What about politics and undue AI or algorithm influence on our elections? Well, back in 2018, I doorbelled for a friend, State Representative Norma Smith, running for re-election. Before that election, repeated searches for her name online or any campaign information immediately redirected me to her opponent. I could not donate online. That kind of redirection does not just happen. That's usually planned and paid for. She was reelected in spite of the interference by the search engine algorithm. To quote Oxford News, the paper, The Levels of Political Persuasion with Conversational AI, published in Science, examines how large language models, those are LLMs, influence political attitudes through conversation. Think about who and what can shape your opinion and my opinion about who we vote for. Our daily phone scroll can already change our opinion without our notice. Just wait until AI is perfected beyond its already semi-fact-filled persuasion-shaped message just to influence us. It makes mainstream news sound bites look harmless. So much for election integrity, and we know that's a problem. What about national security? Cheap Chinese AI models are now popular. Trusting China with AI is like trusting them with anti-COVID virus protocols. Our main service provider for AI, that's nationally, is Bose Allen Hamilton. Well, they tested the Chinese competition and warned about our cybersecurity risks built into the models. Why would that be a surprise to anyone? Of course, Chinese large language models are biased toward communism, and they do want to win. Read the full report on the Bose Allen Hamilton website. The international arms race went from cave dwellers with rocks to nations with enough nuclear warhead missiles to easily wipe out all the world's 911 major cities. That number helps us understand why the Iranian Islamists cannot be trusted with nuclear warheads. Now we face another international race for world dominance with artificial intelligence itself. And who will win? China, Russia, or the United States? And that really is, it's like game theory. Well, we know the AI race is fraught with danger. Who develops the models and creates the algorithms, and for what purpose? With the AI race in mind, President Trump just issued an executive order. I'll read it. Section 1, Purpose. America stands at the cusp of a quantum revolution. Quantum information science and technology, QIST. Quantum, that's like more than anything we even understand. Well, that technology will provide transformational capabilities that will drive American innovation, power economic growth, generate high-paying jobs, and bolster national security. Well, so as we protect our national security, who writes the code of ethics to ensure and protect individual liberty and justice for ordinary people like you and I? What about safety? We already battle deep fake content by malicious actors who scam, defraud, defame, bully, and blackmail victims with awful images of themselves online. Who guards our morals and values? Professor Geoffrey Hinton, known as the father of AI, had a father, gave us dire warnings in his 2024 Nobel Prize banquet speech. And it's about the negative content, government surveillance, cyber criminals, deadly viruses, lethal weapons, and, quote, long-term potential control by digital beings more intelligent than us. Interesting that they're called beings instead of machines. Well, with all the red flags waving, we can now read the International AI Safety Report 2026 for the AI good, bad, and ugly. And of course, that is supposed to make us feel better. However, it just makes you more concerned. How do we navigate all this change? Well, hysteria comes to mind, but it's not helpful. With only $1 and 9 hours at stake, I watched the Tony Robbins AI Advantage Summit and journaled. Yeah, journaled a lot. So what was my takeaway? I will not train AI to clone me, write my letters, YouTube episodes, or books. I never want to add to the AI messages choking our email accounts. AI is helpful for research, but cross-check for accuracy and bias. Editing for grammar is useful, like spell check, but never let it replace your mind or brain. Your brain will just shrivel. AI speeds up Bible translations, but is it accurate? AI speeds up inventions, but do we want to replace ourselves? Will our own inventions enslave and maybe reinvent us? Perhaps. At AI Summit, sales pitches flowed like a flood throughout sessions, building excitement and a desire to sign up for the next program for only more money. Attendee faces flashed on wall-sized screens. When someone saw their face on the big screen, the joy of recognition of themselves resembled the homecoming of a long-lost relative. Participant comments kept people engaged as their words scrolled the screen. To be seen and heard is powerful. The promise of using AI to reclaim your time and not be left behind offered value. What you need is to activate, accelerate, augment, and automate AI for answers as a work partner or as an agent clone working for you. Got to be specific to train your model in you, in OpenAI, GPT, Anthropic Claude, or Google Gemini, to name a few. To actually do that, pay for the next program. However, Igor Pagani warned we should trust AI like a new employee, maybe less, with no financial or personal data. Good idea. For less money and less hype, check out courses like Generative AI for Everyone on Coursera, Machine Learning from Stanford, or Harvard's Intro to AI. And AI is always generating more courses. And really, the university courses, sometimes you can just watch them for free if you're not getting credit. There is help along the way. In both books, 2084 and the AI Revolution and God, AI and the End of History, Professor John Lennox explores the subject. Hillsdale College has a free online course titled What Else? Artificial Intelligence. Ben Peterson, founder of Engage Your Destiny, has an outreach to our military and just wrote, When Intelligence Isn't Human, to help Christians navigate AI and their faith. It is concerning that people already seek AI advice for spiritual guidance and growth. AI is only a tool, a machine. Really, the image of the left brain hemisphere. Who but a fool would make it a god? Who will you choose to serve? You always have that choice. What will you pay attention to? Who has the power to turn off HAL when it turns on humans? That classic 1968 sci-fi movie, 2001: A Space Odyssey, envisions evolutionary leaps with the help of mysterious monoliths planted, we must guess, by extraterrestrials, goes from ape-like creatures to space travel. After discovery of the second monolith on the moon, Dr. David Bowman is sent toward Jupiter with a crew and the AI computer HAL 9000. Let the mystery begin. Of course, the supposedly sentient HAL proudly controls all life systems and functions on board. Brilliant. Does that bode well for mere humans? Well, I won't describe that chilling disaster on board, but finding the third monolith on Jupiter draws David into his future, and on his deathbed, the fourth monolith aids in his final evolutionary leap beyond mortality as a babe in a womb of light. That star child stares upon Earth and then upon us as the screen darkens. Silence in the theater. We know where the theme of evolution came from with the theory that humans are evolving rather than devolving. I haven't seen much evidence for that. Where have I heard a story about a baby and a star, and the who that wise men and women follow? As I said before, if you think you could never be deceived, think again. I certainly have been deceived. Be aware false teachers get between us and our Creator God by distraction, manipulation, and deception. Avoid idols in any form. Stay close to God. And why not read the Bible? That book that is most censored, restricted, banned, or forbidden in over half the world. Most people have never read it through. Although it is the most purchased book, it just gathers dust. So read it from the beginning to end, more than once. Pray to God for wisdom. Let the book explain itself so that you're able to rightly divide the word of truth from opinion or deception. Wisdom matters, and we matter. Encourage one another, love truth, be grateful, and do good. And for your convenience, my YouTube channel site lists all the references, actually, in all of my videos. Until we meet again.